Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and today I'm using the Shaman's Dream Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, and it's for Thursday, June 24th. And as usual, I'm looking for a message to help us free our souls to live fully our eternal divine essence, cosmic intelligence, whatever you want to call it, so that light shines brightly through all aspects of our personality, so that we have a healthy ego that can step aside and let us use our wisest part within to navigate through life. Navigation, and feels to me like navigation and managing our power is always the biggest challenge as humans. At least it has been for me. Like, how did I get here and which way do I go? I think that's the reason I was so interested in astrology in the beginning, back in the 80s, late 80s. Okay, so we have, ooh, that's cool. Dragon's Hoard, protecting the future. Yeah, so thinking ahead. And then we have First Breath, a beginner's mind. And the right use of power. That's so funny because that's what I was just talking about. Not funny, haha, but, well, it doesn't surprise me. It just goes to show that whatever your intention is, often energy wraps around it. I mean, life isn't 100% perfect, of course, on Earth because it's dualistic, and we're unitive beings, but we're doing our best here. So anyway, whenever you put an intention out there, energy wraps around your intention and gives you what you need. The universe is bound by law to receive us, is basically the message. Okay, so the images, well, I'm trying to see if okay, so we have a cosmic type of an image here. Even though the colors aren't right, this feels very Jupiterian to me, like the planet Jupiter. I don't know, let me see. Oh yeah, there's a gal there. She's opening up. She's definitely opening up. And this might be like one of the restrictive parts of her mind, and then so this could be me in the restrictive part of my mind, and then trying to balance the duality. But within, remember, we're all divine essence. We're all creators. And here we are on Earth trying to co-create from from the place that where we can remember. Oh my goodness! Like, we have this memory. We have this spiritual memory in every cell of our human bodies of our original, home in 100% love and pleasure and bliss, and where we actually even have 100% control because we get to decide what it is that we want to do and experience. And as soon as we think it and feel it, bam, we're right there, we're in it. So here we are on Earth, and we're trying to remember, but also trying to learn. It's one of those interesting things. It's so weird to me. Is like you're opening your mind to try and learn more, but in essence, all we're really doing is coming back to who we originally were in the first place, where there isn't anything to learn, and it's all about remembering. So this is interesting to me. So whether or not this is true for you this day, for June 24th, this might be just a good way to look at manifesting what it is that you want. Because with the Dragon's Hoard, that card, and that's actually a cool dragon. It's kind of a dragonfly, but not with a dragonfly head at all. But look at the keys there. So there's the keys to manifesting. Look at the eggs there. That's interesting too. Protecting the future. Yeah. So the eggs would be everything that we have worked to manifest, and then, but protecting the baby part, the egg that before it's broken open. That's the challenge. And that's the challenge when it comes to how to use our power. This one is called Crown Games, but I'm not really seeing, well, I don't think we do that. I don't think that we get into power plays. I don't think that that's, well, it can happen to us though. I guess there's little parts of us, of course, always that we have to look at to where we're trying to manipulate others and be in charge, be in control. Be the one that knows the answer. Be the one that's right. Because that goes back to that dualistic place where we're always trying to work out, because when in dualistic consciousness, so we're trying to work out the ways to use our power. And when we're in duality, it's just very mental. In the tarot, it's the Five of Swords to me. And it's either or consciousness. There's no and. It's either you're wrong and I'm right, or I'm wrong and you're right. There's no in between. There's no like, oh yeah, you're right about that and I'm right about this part, and together it's win-win. Or it's either, you're bad and I'm good, or the opposite, and and nobody's owning up to the right thing, which is the middle way, which is, like I said, win-win opportunities, or just accepting the duality of that it's both and it's and. There's good and bad, there's win and lose. There's right and wrong. And on earth, there's life and death. But when you accept the duality on earth, then it leads to that, unified mind and that unified power, and then you know what it is to do. And in order to, what I'm seeing here with these two cards, the way to open up to, this beginner's mind here would be to this is perfect for the North Node in Gemini right now, to open up to being curious about what is the right way for this particular situation at this particular time. Because, that's the deal with navigating, is that navigating in alignment with spiritual law, is that the spiritual laws are just very flexible, and they're not narrow, they're very open. And so in order to navigate, you have to you have to be present in the now in order to navigate in the direction that's right for you, to make a decision for you that's, right at this time for you, whatever that is. Nobody can do it for you. It's your creative right to exercise your free will. But it does involve being really curious about whatever beliefs and attitudes might be holding us back, and then to keep being curious and opening up to something new. So I think the message is coming through here, the way to protect the future, the way to protect all the new things that are growing in our lives, is to be really curious about how we're doing navigating and what our attitudes are, because our attitudes, they're right in there with the false beliefs. Either an attitude is aligned with truth, or it's aligned with a false belief, and then you've got a battle going on where you're kind of in a double bind. There's that if then, like I have to do this, or I won't survive. If I do this, then I will survive. If I do this, then I will have pleasure. If I don't, I won't. That kind of thing. So we have to get in touch. We always have to keep questioning, like a little one. Like, well, is that really true, or why? 4-year-olds, everything is why? That's because they're trying to figure out the rules. They're trying to figure out what works. So if we can go back to that beginner's mind and ask, well, is that really true for me anymore? And in the new seeds of creation they're always developing within. We don't have to be perfect as we're trying to find our right use of power. We just have to let go of controlling others. Let them have their belief, even if you know it's wrong or it's false. You don't have to fix anyone. Our job is just to accept that life on earth is imperfect. Just very, very imperfect. There's imperfection, is what the word I was trying to say, all around. And that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with us or with others. It's just that they are maybe not going to be aligned with us in our certain, belief system. So it can be really challenging. But if we can just let go of it and don't be afraid, because the fear. Sometimes there can be fear, with this trying to protect the future, and maybe we're thinking that we have to. I'm talking to these two cards, most. To me, this is the way out of the dualistic split. This is the and card, is to open up and say why. It looks like she's listening intently here, and all of the universe is behind her saying, "But there's so much more," and so. Maybe this is about listening to others and not being so protective and using our power in more of a curious way. And like I was saying before, because, fear creates issues and distortions in our divine rays, then it might be hard to feel happy sometimes when we're with people like this. And maybe we're afraid of going for what we want. This could be just very, intrinsically about nurturing, like sitting on your eggs, like the way, a hen sits on her eggs or a mother duck or any mammal that is hatching eggs. I mean, eggs are all around nature. So when it comes to using your power to protect the future, it feels to me like what we really have to do is just give up our fear of needing to be right, needing to be good, or needing to be bad, because maybe that was how we got attention when we were little, right? I mean, that can happen. But needing to win and not being afraid of dying, like literally dying into your unhealthy ego that you're trying to clear out so that your healthy ego can step aside and allow your spirit to come through in a brand new way. That would be the right use of our power. But if our parents were too controlling, we're going to have a fear of going for what we want. We're going to have a fear of what eggs might open up and bring in something that maybe we can't control because our parents were controlling. We might be afraid of just trusting our spontaneity is the word I'm looking for. Spontaneous real self that wants to come through. So we might reject ourselves, thinking that way we're safe. But this card here, I think, is the one to focus on, is that this is the way through it all, is just to open up to a brand new way of thinking about anything that you're working on or any relationship issue. It's always just to be curious and try and understand like what's going on. Like with our parents, if we were having trouble with any of our parents, maybe what's helpful, or at least what's been helpful for me in healing, has been to wonder how it was for them growing up. And of course they would lay any trip that they had growing up onto us kids, because that's what parents do. They want us to be safe usually. Or if they were abused and numbed out and abusive to us, we could look to like maybe our grandparents were that way to them and have compassion. That would be opening things up in a beginner's mind way. So I'm sure you guys can think of all different ways to do this, to work with these cards, and I appreciate your comments and love them, and I always learn from you guys. So comment away if you have any more insight about these cards, because I think we all have a unique voice when it comes to reading the cards, and I really appreciate yours. So, but with that, I am going to close this up and get it uploaded, and I'll be back soon. Okay, bye.